Obama. Get your cell phones out. I want to know what you think. Tonight's question: do you agree with President Obama's endorsement of same-sex marriage? Text A for yes, text B for no to 622-639. And you can always go to our blog at ed.msnbc.com and leave a comment. We encourage you to do that. We'll bring you the results of the poll later on in the show. Tonight, I am joined by Cyndi Lauper, Grammy Award-winning performer and co-founder of the True Colors Fund, which raises awareness about the LGBT homelessness in America. She's joining us from George Washington University, where she is receiving an award for her work with the True Colors Fund. I'm also joined tonight by John Lewis. He is the legal director for Marriage Equality USA. John and his husband were two of the plaintiffs in the original California case to make marriage equality a reality. Great to have both of you with us tonight. Cyndi, you first. What was your reaction to President Obama's announcement today, and how big of a political moment is this in America?
Well, I couldn't have been prouder to be an American because I believe in equality. I believe in separation of church and state. I'm glad to live in a country where I don't have to have somebody else's religion put upon me. And I feel that gay people pay taxes, and they pay just as much taxes, if not more, than heterosexual married people, and they have just as much right to get married and be miserable just like everybody else. And I'm very happy that President Obama came forth and said that. I'm so proud of our president. He's brave, and our vice president. I always thought it was a step in the right direction, especially for the homeless LGBT youths that have been kicked out of their homes by their folks, by their families, and disenfranchised, because it makes them less invisible. And I came here tonight to give them a voice, because they don't have one. So I felt hopeful, and I'm proud of them.
An emotional moment, no doubt about it. An emotional moment for many Americans tonight. John, did the president satisfy your concerns over this position and the political ramifications of it? Your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I am both thrilled and just deeply moved by the president's words today. My husband, Stuart, and I this year have been together for 25 years as a loving, committed couple. We've been legally married in the state of California for 4 of those years, and it just means the world to us and to many, many, many same-sex couples and lesbian and gay people nationwide that the President of the United States is now standing up for the full freedom to marry for every single
John,
American.
do you think this is what the American people want?
Well, I think politically speaking, it's something very important to look at. We always do when we evaluate whether to re-elect somebody, is we look at whether they fulfilled their campaign promises. And 4 years ago, the president promised to be a fierce advocate for lesbian and gay people. Today, he truly became one.
Cyndi, what kind of an impact is this going to have on young people in this election cycle? In 2008, President Obama was able to really inspire the younger generation to get involved. Will this be one of those moments, in your opinion?
Absolutely. President Obama.
I think this is a big one, yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Cyndi.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No,
President Obama said 2 words over and over 4 years ago: hope and change. His words today bring enormous hope to lesbian and gay people, and it represents change. Things are never going to be the same after today.
Cyndi, your thoughts?
That's right. And every time now I see President Obama, I remember Dr. King's words, and I'll always remember that speech growing up, that the arc of history is long, but it bends towards justice, and eventually, if everyone stands up and is counted, we will have equality in a country that boasts freedom for all.
And Cyndi, do you think that this is the Cyndi, do you think that this is the civil rights issue of our time?
Yes. I grew up in a lot of them. I grew up in the civil rights for African Americans. I marched in the women's movement, and I know that it takes everybody. It takes everybody to stand up. Gay people, straight people, white people, black people, Spanish people. Everybody has to stand up and say, hey, enough is enough.
John, I want to ask
people need to be free.
Yeah, John, I want to ask you about the financial aspect of this. The gay community in America is very powerful politically and also financially. How much do you think that weighed in on President Obama's, if at all, on his decision?
Well, I think something that's tremendously powerful about his statement today is he spoke from the heart, and he really stood up for what he knew was right, perhaps regardless of the political ramifications. And I think the irony of it is, and we all know this as regular people, that when we do what's right, when we no longer have to equivocate, it gives us tremendous power in our voice. And I think he has done a very powerful thing, personally and politically today.
Cyndi Lauper, John Lewis, great to have you on the Ed Show tonight. Thanks for your reaction to this historical move. And